We are here on the Tech Diva Success podcast. And one thing I love about this podcast is meeting amazing speakers that are on the show and amazing men and women, both that are featured from all over the world. So we're lucky to have Estelle Roux-Stevens here with us today. She is coming to us from Amsterdam, and she has some great lessons she's going to share with our tech divas. She has a great background in startups and scale-ups and growth mentoring, growth strategies rather, mentoring, community building. She's definitely done some speaking, and it's just a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you, Estelle, for coming.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. We talked about this for so long. It's finally here.
I know. And you're currently the co-founder of Mentor Jam, which is a very cool product. Do you want to quickly share what Mentor Jam does?
Yeah, so we're a SaaS solution. It's a bit of a tongue twister for me, and we provide mentoring at our core, but we really help communities and networks who provide mentoring as part of their kind of community benefit to run their mentoring programs. We also work with accelerators and incubators who run mentoring programs, and also companies who use mentoring as part of their personal development plan. So software, and it's great as part of building this amazing platform as an HR person. So very, very happy.
That's really important because we talk on the show a lot about mentoring. And so you're kind of taking what you know of mentoring and technology and putting that into the mix. I know that you love technology as well, and you've done a lot in HR and taken on many things here. So what I would like to do is just hand it over to you. I know you have 8 key lessons today. So why don't you share with our audience the wisdom that you're going to give to them today?
Great. Yeah. So, building Mentor Jam has really been an extremely fun journey. And not only did I start this journey with my husband, who we also have 2 children with. I also have 2 children, but we also decided to go into business together. But it wasn't officially what the plan was way back then when we started this business. It was just I have a need, he has a need. We're coming at it from 2 different angles, and let's see what we can build. So about 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, actually 3.5 years ago, I was still working in my corporate HR job, and I was building a mentoring program in company at that point. And I was really looking for something that I could then use in terms of providing some key data and some actual facts around mentoring actually does work. It is a really, really great tool for personal development, and not necessarily just on a professional level, but also on a personal level, life coach, life mentoring, etc. So there are lots of different angles. And at the time, he's a CTO, architect, product developer, and he was mentoring through Startup Bootcamp, which is an accelerator here in the Netherlands, but they're also international. And he was finding it quite tough from a mentor point of view to really deliver the quality of mentoring that he was hoping to deliver within the accelerator program. So we put our heads together, and we were like, actually, we could solve this problem, because looking in the market, there are a couple of products, but none of it really delivers what we need as mentors from a solution. So so we put our heads together and we started building this product. So it's a lot of time spent with him just on his own coding, and me kind of adding in and this and try this, we need this, etc., etc. But it took us a while. We went to Lisbon for Web Summit a few years ago, and kind of with an MVP, and So like I said, it's been quite a journey. We've had at least 3 years, and we've had some really interesting learnings along the way.
Well, real quick, before you go into your 8 amazing learnings, what do you think is the secret of working so closely in business with your husband?
Wow, that is like a trigger question, man.
Answer correctly, he's going to listen.
He's going to listen to this. I think it is, it's respect and freedom, because we respect each other's contributions to the business and to the product and to the space. And then freedom to really explore and kind of like, you know, what do we really want from this? And because that was not, we weren't earning any money from the business at that point because we were still building. You know, one of us still had to kind of hold the fort and have a full-time job whilst the other, him, building the product. So yeah, the freedom to be able to kind of do that. And yeah, I mean, we've had some interesting times, but it's definitely yeah, those two key things I think is really important.
Well, congrats on that. It's a kudos to your relationship as well. So let's go ahead and dig in. So what do you have for us today?
So yeah, so I've got 8 key things. I mean, there's lots of things that you learn from building a business, right? And having been in the kind of entrepreneurial space for pretty much all my life, I feel quite good about these 8 things that I can bring. So I think, you know, having a vision, you know, we've always been really super clear on what it is we want to deliver. So having a really, really clear vision is absolutely like the basis, the absolutely basis of any business, you know. And you know, it's not about how you're going to get there, but really is like what you want to achieve. Absolutely super key. So being very clear on that. The next thing is kind of having a mission. So, and this is different to live that dream. How are you going to reach those goals, and how are you going to execute on the vision that you feel so truly passionate about? You know, you might go back to the drawing board a few times on this, you know, but your vision really sticks, but your mission, kind of like how you're going to get there and really kind of getting kind of moving forward. That's the bit that you would probably kind of iterate a little bit and so forth, but being quite clear on that, especially when you have other people that you work with you in the business, being clear on those 2 things is super key. You know, then the thing that I'm really bad at is to stop thinking, start doing. I don't like to say that I'm a perfectionist because I think that's just like self-sabotage or something crazy like that. But I do like to plan. I do like to have a structure, and I'm, you know, quite, you know, methodical, etc. But sometimes you get to a point where you're like, you know what, this is as close to perfect as it will ever be. Just get on and do it. You know, and so many entrepreneurs and so many startups really fall flat at this point, where they've got really great things, but they want to get it absolutely perfect before they launch it. You know, we went to Web Summit with a very bare bones product, and that was probably one of the best things we've ever done, is to really be bold, take the risk, go to Lisbon and stand at the startup stand with like a very you know, MVP kind of product, and having these massive companies like IKEA and Amex and tons of really big companies come to us and be interested in our solution. And we were like, oh man, this is insane. So yeah, absolutely, stop thinking, start doing, just get on with it. A biggie as well, grow and invest in a team. I cannot iterate this more. You know, work to your strengths. Really think about what you can outsource, what you can give to somebody else that take a bit of space off your plate, so you can, as the CEO, as the visionary, as the entrepreneur, founder, whatever, really move this, you know, boat forward. One of my favorite quotes is actually from an ex-US president, Harry Truman. It's amazing what you accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit. You know, it's beautiful, I think. And yeah, outsourcing, investing in a team, whatever works for your budget and your business model at that point, it's a really important one. And, you know, we're getting to this point now where we do want to bring in some additional help and some support. So yeah, we can kind of feel the kind of like stretching at the seams right now. So yeah, definitely investing in a team. A 5th one, I think it's an interesting one. It's like creating scalable processes. Now this is a bit of a yawn, a bit of a boring one. You know, who likes a process? Yummy, not exciting, but you know, you cannot move business forward. You cannot scale, you cannot grow unless you have some really, really good, well thought through, tried and tested, scalable processes. Trust me. If you start doing the same thing over and over, make a process, put something in place, write it down, and find someone else to execute so you can move on to doing the next thing. Really, really key. Number 6, networking, build a community, reach out to people. Networking groups, they come in all shapes and sizes, trust me. And you can find a networking group, around every corner, but find one where that's, two different things, I think. One is where you could feel comfortable in terms of people who are on the same journey or doing a similar thing, that you could share ideas and you could talk about learnings and experiences and kind of trial and tested. But then the opposite to that is find something that's not, and I don't like the word like-minded, because I just think like-minded is so not where we want to be in the world. So find something that's a community where people are different. They have different points of view and different interactions and different experiences, and they can give you that different mindset, that different point of view on something that you are building and you are creating. So yeah, definitely find a network, find a community, find more than one, and really have some good conversations and learnings, and with people in those. Then staying focused. Now this is tough, right? Staying focused is really, really, really hard. And I find this one particularly hard because I'm a bit of a kind of a magpie with some things, like, oh, great idea. Yeah. And when you're building your business and you're really kind of hands-on, busy with it, and you think, oh, I want to do this. This is a great idea. Oh, I want to try this one, try that. But staying focused is super, super tough, but really, really important. And it kind of takes you back to the first point a little bit about the vision. So kind of connecting those two together. I have another great quote, and I actually have this written down and on my desk, just as a little reminder. And it's by Zig Ziglar. Lack of direction, not lack of time, is a problem, as we all have the same 24 hours in a day. Super true. Really, really tough. And then finally, I want to leave you with my final point, which is to have fun and celebrate regularly. Who does that enough? We just don't. We do not celebrate the successes, even tiny ones. What we often do as entrepreneurs is we reflect on the things we didn't do. Oh, I didn't do this. My day was too short. I ran out of time. I didn't do this. These goals, that goals, yada, yada, yada. But you don't really stop and think and celebrate the good stuff, even the smallest achievement. Yeah, we did that today. Yay, team, go. And and working so closely together with my husband, this is stuff that we sometimes we forget a lot of the time. And we have such awesome achievements and we do some great stuff. And then at the end of the day, it's like kids, food, bath, that. You kind of forget that you've had an epic day and we have some really great achievements. So yeah.
Yeah, those are so great. And I agree. I just put a prompting out on social just this week. We start to make goals for the new year, weight loss, professional goals, all those things. And we don't stop and celebrate things that we did win in such a tough year for everybody. And I think that's really important. And your 8 lessons here come from your entrepreneurship roots and experience, but I think they're universal to all women in tech. These are things that you can have personally and scale. You can have your personal vision, mission, taking action, all these things, right? And you could take those into your business. And that's what's really cool about a lot of goal setting that you learn. When it works for you, it works for your business, it works for your team. And I love the flexibility of what you've put out there and how useful these all can be. And hopefully there's something that you can implement right away if you're listening out there. So I think you could take any one of these 8 things and go ahead and try it for the next week. And I'm sure you will find a way to get 1% better each day, which is what I like to share. So these
Yeah.
were awesome. I love them. They're universal. They're, time tested. And I appreciate you sharing these. I'm sure you have a lot more
Yeah,
stories as well. So if people want
absolutely.
to connect with you
Mhm.
or learn more about Mentor Jam, what's the best way you want them to do that?
Well, firstly, of course, LinkedIn is a great starting point. So find me on LinkedIn.
Great.
And then next is Estelle@mentorjam.com. So you can reach out to me there if you want to find out more about what Mentor Jam can do for your community or your business. Then reach out.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure meeting you. It's always great to see women leaders in the startup space, especially ones with tech-minded and great tips like what you've given our listeners today. And I will
Great.
drop those links into the blog, which we have for each of our shows. And it's pretty easy to find on techdivasuccess.com. And I appreciate you, Estelle. You're awesome. Keep creating, keep leading, and have a wonderful day. Thank you,
Thank you
everybody.
very much. Thanks.